Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
Well, welcome back. Now, Margaret, Howell, and I are taken to the studio. We are here with some advice for Donald Trump. Have you learned nothing from the DNC leaks? The Democrats have weaponized reporters. They're armed with questions specifically to trigger you. Prove your merit and stop falling for the traps. So now we know that the left runs on feelings over facts. This is their whole campaign. They don't want to run on their record. They want to tear down their opponents. They're not really worried about educating their voters. They just want to divert and divide everyone, get them all kind of riled up about non-issues. So of course, they're going to be using these diversion tactics well into November. They're not going to tackle any real issues. So Donald, please stop allowing reporters to divert America from the real issues. Instead, pivot back around to what Hillary Clinton does not want to talk about.
Well, Leanne, he should be calling you for advice. I mean, the communications director, seriously, whomever is running this, he runs on high emotion, which is part of his appeal. People like how real he is, but at the same time, he's got to start scaling back, especially the tweets when he's engaging in the tit for tat. Nobody's appreciating that very much. And hunkering down, speaking of real issues and those leaks, Julian Assange today, he said that within Hillary Clinton's emails, specifically regarding those leaks, that she was absolutely, no question about it, supplying weapons to jihadis in Syria. He goes on to say that there was a weapons flow going into Syria being pushed by Hillary Clinton to jihadis, including ISIS. So she was arming ISIS as Secretary of State. That's what these emails suggest. 1,700 of them in this specific collection. They've released the ones from Libya alone, and it's explosive. You talk about a real issue right there. And then she was questioned in 2013, and she said, I have no knowledge of any weapons before Congress.
Right.
That's a real issue, Donald.
Yeah, exactly. So she doesn't want people to talk about that. She doesn't want people to talk about the Clinton Foundation. And then, of course, they roll out their new pet project here with Mr. Khizr Khan. Okay, so he is attacking Donald Trump. One of the first things he says is, Donald Trump, how dare you? You've made no sacrifices. I've sacrificed. First of all, his son, like all soldiers, go and volunteer for that service, all right? So he did not make that personal sacrifice. But why is Donald Trump being singled out here? Has Obama made a personal sacrifice or Hillary Clinton? No, and in fact, why is he up on the stage there when it was Hillary Clinton who was one of the people who voted for the Iraq War and continued to support it up until 2014? So that's this useless war, unjust war that, you had to sacrifice your son. But now, obviously we know the Clinton campaign is spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on opposition research for Donald Trump because that's what they do. They want to take out their opponent. Trump needs to be doing the exact same thing, getting into the ties with this man's Muslim Brotherhood. Thankfully, we do have some respectable people out there in the media who are tapping into this.
Yeah.
So take a look at these articles before you just lash out. Give it a while because you do have people on your side. Breitbart is pointing out about Khizr Khan's deep legal and financial connections to Saudi Arabia. Of course, the ties with his law firm and the Clinton Foundation. It's an international Islamist investors group through his own law firm where they're basically selling these immigration programs to wealthy foreigners so they can essentially buy their way into the U.S. Of course, many countries have this, but America is considered kind of the Walmart of these buy-in programs because I think it's only like $500,000.
Right.
You can buy your citizenship. And so he specializes in that for the Arab community. They're, like I said, deep ties to the government of Saudi Arabia. And then in the American Thinker, they go on to talk about the backstory with Khizr Khan, get into this as well. This was out of the Shubat website. And they're talking about Khan being a promoter of Islamic Sharia law. He's a co-founder of the Journal of Contemporary Issues in Muslim Law. He has shown his appreciation for an icon of the Muslim Brotherhood, Saeed Ramadan, who, of course, is the son-in-law of the founder of the Muslim Brotherhood, a.k.a. Huma Abedin's boss.
Oh, my.
Yeah, so, I mean, it goes really deep. And, also his website, there was a reporter who was calling the number to his law office, and they said, well, this is not that Khizr Khan, but it's also the phone number of a group called American Muslims Vote. They want to create an enlightened community of patriotic American Muslims, encouraging them to participate in the democratic process, local, state, and national level. And this domain was registered by Khizr Khan on July 23rd of 2016. So all of his platitudes there on stage were about his business, okay? And it's just, you know, throwing Trump under the bus, but he had nothing to do with it.
You think that she would have picked somebody with less controversy, just doing basic journalistic work, which Breitbart did, you know, finding out who this guy is. And not only that, but Huma's connections to radical extremists. And it's just remarkable. You know, I would have picked a better candidate. And it was bizarre how he was engaging Trump back and forth personally. It's weird to see Trump constantly take the bait, just taking it back to that, you know, getting past that and doing this basic research. As you pointed out, we could take this discussion to the next level.
Right, and we have to continually point out their hypocrisy, but it gets exhausting because there's so much of it. Perfect example, the McAdoo blog tweeted out a week ago, or a week and a half ago, how terrible it was for the RNC to exploit the pain of a grieving mother for partisan gain. Cindy Sheehan, of course, was there on the opening day of the RNC.
Right.
A week later, they talk about how Khizr Khan's speech will not be forgotten.
Right.
Hello, so it's okay to use, exploit the feelings of a grieving parent for partisan gain if it's on the right side.
Right, but
so
if they're
totally hypocritical.
They're pushing Hillary Clinton belongs in stripes, which is exactly what I believe her name is Pat Smith, am I right? Is that right? Sean Smith's mother. He died in that Benghazi attack. And she said Hillary belongs in stripes. And she was very poignant about that she holds Hillary Clinton responsible for the death of her son. So we can't highlight those cases when people are actually, you know, they understand who's responsible for something. We can only highlight the fact if somebody's a Muslim, we've got to put them center stage because that's the only thing that matters in this fight.
Right, because that's the weaponized thing of just diverting, divide, and conquer. That's what so many people, you know, they're twisting Donald Trump's words once again. I feel like he needs to just pin his exact words to the top of his Twitter profile so they can stop being spun out of context. But then, of course, there's a whole Russia thing. You know, pivot back to the fact that Hillary Clinton, during her tenure as Secretary of State, okayed the sale of about 20% of the U.S. uranium stockpile to the Russian government. Wall Street Journal today is reporting about the Clinton Foundation and their ties to the Kremlin. So why did Hillary's State Department urge U.S. investors to fund Russian research for military uses? So basically, during her tenure as Secretary of State, she is getting all of these U.S. investors. It's basically the Silicon Valley of Russia, and they're using it for military technology. So it's
selling uranium.
Talk about that, those ties. It goes above and beyond. And then, of course, there is the hypocritical progressive media now talking about Melania Trump's nude photo scandal.
You know, do you remember the boobs for Bernie movement where women were taking off their bras en masse, showing their breast in public? You know, a boob is not supposed to be sexualized. Excuse me, a breast is not supposed to be sexualized. There's nothing sexual about it. We're people too. This entire movement.
Free the nipple.
Free the nipple. But
I mean, that was like Miley Cyrus was so amazing with her Free the Nipple campaign.
I thought Melania looked beautiful, just on a side note. I mean, who cares? You know, again, the hypocrisy of this. The hypocrisy.
Well, first of all, this is the media who's trying to just hammer it in our heads that there's this rape culture, yet they refuse to talk about Bill Clinton being a serial predator. So you want to talk about Melania's tasteful nudes that she did back when she was a model.
As an adult.
You refuse to cover Bill Clinton and the myriad of women, the trail of Bill's bimbos that Hillary Clinton, of course, viciously psychologically abused. These women said that they wanted to kill themselves. I mean, Huma Abedin's husband has
talk about a
floating
serial philandering, womanizing.
Obama's mom.
Oh my gosh.
Has nudes out there. I mean, do you want to go there? Like, so this is what I just don't understand. They won't recover that because how dare you go there? But then they're going to be like, ooh, this is going to be the first lady. It's
Carlos Danger is off limits, but something that someone did as an adult. Right, exactly. Who's apparently pushing a documentary, which I think 300 people have actually seen. It's really bizarre, but that just goes to show you know Hillary's personality of the attack dog. It's weird that you know her personal top aide would also be in bed with a philanderer that she has to then protect. It's very strange on a different note. That's
well, she probably
really
got
bizarre.
some coaching from Hillary on that, and of course we can point out the hypocritical theories there where they're constantly asking Ivanka, how did your father treat women? But they're never asking the same question of Chelsea, because we all know how her dad treats women. So there you go. It's tough fighting back against this all the time. Thank you, Margaret. And thank you guys so much for tuning in to the show this evening. We will continue fighting the info war here, and we will see you here again tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central.
We have ended the big mega sale. Now, we have kept 3 items, though, this week. That's Brain Force, While Supplies Last, the amazing nootropic, for $17.76, normally $29. Leading competitors that have similar formulas are $60 to $70 to $80. That's 40% off. DNA Force, our flagship product. It's a big deal to offer 30% off on that. We're extending that. And then Vitamin Mineral Fusion, all the vitamins, all the minerals, the amino acids, the cofactors to help upload it. Great tasting fruit punch. Infowars, life.com, that's 30% off, but I'm going to go further. Boom, here it is. Normally you sign up for auto ship, you get 10% off. You still get that on top of it. I'm doing free shipping on everything, whether it's one Hillary for prison shirt or a Bill Clinton rape shirt or whatever it is, whatever informational warfare weapon you want to help spread the word and meet like-minded people. Free shipping store-wide. Free shipping store-wide. So I want to thank you all for your support, your prayers, and so much more.